This program is so important and so special for a specific set of students. Our tutoring program, more so than any other program that I'm aware of on FSU campus, runs late into the night. It doesn't even start until 8 p.m. So for students who work all day and have to maintain full-time jobs to put themselves through college, are still able to get the help that they need and the tutoring that they need. They're not just off on their own trying to struggle and succeed by themselves, because all professors and TAs and other programs that I'm aware only hold office hours or scheduling blocks during the day. No other program that I'm aware of runs until midnight. So it's super important and vital to their success that this program exists and that they have the option, even if they don't use it, that they have the option to get tutoring. I'm involved in other organizations outside of tutoring, and that was phenomenal because I didn't have to sacrifice any of my other commitments in order to do this job. I could just do it later on. So it's been great for me that the flexibility of this job, the hours of this job, I can do it all essentially. I don't have to sacrifice one thing in order to have a job. I can maintain my passions while being able to work.
So I'm a computer science student, which means that my classes are really heavy in a lot of the STEM subjects. I've taken classes in biology, I've taken classes in physics, I've taken many classes in math as I'm a math minor. FSU Libraries was actually the first place that I turned to for nearly every exam that I had for a math or physics class. The tutors definitely saved my butt in just about every aspect, especially with my physics class. The curriculum is really challenging, and the tutors were always very nice, and they went over a problem with me no matter how many times I had to ask them to re-explain a concept, which was always really nice of them.
And there isn't that like power structure, the hierarchy inherently present in like the teacher-student relationship that makes students hesitant to like appear stupid. And they'll explain it to you over and over again. The free tutoring specifically available at Stroger is probably the sole reason that I stuck it out in like the rigorous like STEM and science math classes for as long as I did.
I had to take a lot of chemistry classes because I'm a pre-med student. So I had to take all the gen chems and the orgos. I actually went to Stroger tutoring a couple of times. So I used the service as a student before I became a tutor. It was super helpful that they were students and not TAs or professors, because you could speak frankly with them. If you didn't understand something, you could be a bit more blunt about being frustrated with a problem or with the class in general. And they obviously had to take those classes, so they understood where you were coming from. Students come in, some are freaking out, some kind of already have a gist of what's going on, and they basically just ask you, hey, can you walk me through this problem? I'm struggling with this homework question. I have a test tomorrow and I know absolutely nothing. And then you kind of gauge from there how much help they need, how much time you have to spend with them. If it's super busy, you can't spend a ton of time with them, so you have to pick a specific concept or a problem to work on, and then you walk them through it, you explain it the best you can, and then kind of got to move on to the next student. But if it's not busy, we could sit there and spend the full 4 hours with them and really make sure that they understand everything. But a lot of the times it is, I have no clue what's going on. I don't understand my professor. Please, God, help me.
I started off chemistry failing the first exam, and I ended up with an A. It can be done. Even if it's not done right the first time, it certainly can be. And tutoring certainly helps that. It just really put together a lot of pieces for me, and it was just really foundational to my learning.
But even with the transition to COVID-19, I think that they've done a really good job of adapting to it. Classes were remote for the rest of the semester. I still continued to use tutoring for that physics class. I think a major part of the tutoring still being helpful to me was that the tutor himself was literally amazing in just about every way. He had his own little mini whiteboard that he would bring with him.
There's a lot of writing out of the problems. You can't just talk through things. A lot of times it needs to be a visual explanation of things, writing out formulas, writing out problems. So the use of tablets became a big thing. Luckily, I already had one, but the library was kind enough to offer the tutors use of one for work if they needed one, to be able to log on to the Zoom call a second time and then share their screen on the tablet and write out problems that way. And that's been super helpful, especially for organic chemistry, which is what I primarily tutor. They really need to be able to see, okay, I have to break this bond here and move it over here. I have to move this electron pair to this place. So being able to explain things visually in a virtual setting has been something that we had to adapt to for sure.
And I think that the entire like structure in general with like the waiting rooms and like putting people in was like really well structured.
The online tutoring experience in the spring, like when it was really like shaft drag, like we'll just go to Zoom because we have to do something, that was really good actually. The spring was great. I was there, 8 to 12. I was there.
Me and my friends will praise it all day long because like I got A's in my classes because of tutoring. I certainly wouldn't, I don't know where I would have been.
So you really do build connections with people beyond just the tutor-tutee relationship.
I think you go to college and you're hoping you'll meet like a community of people who are like similar to you. And oddly enough, I met them through a tutoring program.